All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What's up, everybody? Big Marley 3 from SHIPIT Nation here to break down the Week 4 NFL afternoon slate for you guys. Before we get into that, I want to mention that we have a 5-day trial over at SHIPITNation.com for only $19. You get to test out everything we have to offer, except for our Discord. So get in there now and crush this Week 4 slate with us. Once you sign up, you will get access to this 4-hour educational video from our guys Hoop and Tambo. They're two of the best in the industry, and they're giving away all their secrets in this 4-hour video. Hoop talks about winning the Millie Maker last year, which was in Week 4, by the way, and Tambo crushes qualifiers and live finals. So he talks about his strategies for those, along with a bunch of other great information to help you guys become better DFS players. Also, this show is sponsored by Drafters. I built 150 best ball teams this year on Drafters, and it was an awesome site to draft on. They also have weekly pick'em contests available for each sport. If you go over there, sign up with promo code SHIPIT. They will match your first deposit up to $100. And they also have an NBA best ball contest out right now that you guys can start drafting in. All right, let's get into this afternoon slate. It's not my favorite afternoon slate, that's for sure. But this first game is going to be mine and the field's favorite game to target. We have the Chargers coming in as 5-point home favorites. We have a 49.5 point total in this one. So that's why I expect it to be the most popular game of the week. Justin Herbert will probably be the most popular quarterback on the slate, and most people will be looking to pair him up with Keenan Allen, who had 20 targets last week, and now he doesn't have to worry about sharing targets with Mike Williams, who is done for the year. They also have a cheap Josh Kelly at running back because Eckler should be sitting again this week. And then with Mike Williams out, we're going to have Josh Williams and or Quentin Johnston step up. They are both cheap options. Palmer's only $4K on this slate. Johnston is $3.7K. I want to be using these guys. I don't know if I want to fade the Allen chalk because I do think he's going to get peppered with targets again, but I don't mind using Herbert with Allen and then one or two of his other pass catchers. And we also have Gerald Everett at tight end for only $3.6K. He had 6 targets last week. He's in play as well. And if you want to fade the Allen chalk, you can really just go Herbert to Everett, Johnston, and Palmer all for cheap, and that'll help you pay up for all these other expensive plays that you might want to get up to. But this is going to be a game that I want to target heavily, and I expect the field will want to target heavily also. And then the Raiders plays that I'm interested in are really just the big 3. I like Josh Jacobs at running back. We have Devontae Adams at wide receiver. He also saw 20 targets last week. And if Jimmy plays, man, he's really only focused on Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, who will be the other player that I'm interested in. Myers is averaging 11 targets in the 2 games that he has played so far. So I'm fine stacking up Jimmy with those guys. If he does end up suiting up, he should be a little bit lower owned. And if you're trying to get, a CMC into your lineup, maybe that's what you got to do. You got to pay down somewhere to get those expensive guys. And this is a game I want to target. So if I can get some cheap options from this game, then I plan on doing that. The next game is going to be my least favorite game to target, with the Cowboys being 7-point home favorites with a 44-point total. I am fine using Dak at quarterback, but the only guys I really have interest in on his team are going to be Tony Pollard, who has a great workhorse role, and I like stacking him with their DST. And then also like CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver, but I do expect the Patriots to sell out and try and stop one of these guys. So I don't want too much Dallas exposure for that reason. There are these other options like Brandon Cooks or Michael Gallup that we could go to for cheap, but I would rather take my cheap shots on like a Palmer or Quentin Johnston from that other game instead. My favorite New England targets, I really don't have much interest on the New England side of the ball, but I would say that Hunter Henry would be my favorite target for the Patriots just because it's a toss-up at tight end this week. I really don't love any of these options, and if I'm using Tony Pollard or CeeDee Lamb in my lineup, then I like him as a little mini stack option. And then we have Ezekiel Elliott, who is in a revenge game for cheap. So if you want to play that narrative, you can go to Zeke for only 5,100. But I won't be pairing him up with Pollard. I don't love running back from the same game. I'm not fully against it, but in this spot, I just don't see me doing it. So it would be more like a Zeke paired up with Lamb for me. And then I will mainly just be using the defenses from this side of the ball because I'm not stacking up the offensives very much. So it just makes sense for me to go ahead and use these guys instead. And then we have in our last game, the 49ers are 14-point home favorites against the Cardinals. They have the highest team total on the slate at 29. And my plan is just going to be to load up on that Chargers-Raiders game or load up on this San Francisco offense. CMC is an awesome play at 9.2K at running back if we can afford him. And he's averaging 20 carries per game and 117 rushing yards. So he's looking great this season. He can also get work in the receiving game as well. He's stackable with Brock Purdy. Purdy has looked really good this year. He's cheap at 5,900. He has a lot of stack options as well. Deebo Samuel has a Q tag, but he crushed it the last 2 weeks. He's averaging over 25 DraftKings points in those last 2 games. He also has Brandon Ayuk, who came off the injury report. And then they have George Kittle, who is the top tight end if we can afford him. And he's in for a big game soon. So those will be the ways I'll be playing San Francisco. I want to stack Purdy with at least 2 of those guys. And then I also like just making it a full onslaught, throwing in the 49ers defense in there as well. I will be trying to avoid the Cardinals this week and their 15-point team total. But the players that I will keep in my player pool are James Conner, Rondale Moore, who's super cheap at only 3.3K, Zach Ertz at tight end, only 3.2K. And then if I have to pay all the way down at defense at 2.2K, I don't hate the Cardinals defense if it really makes me love the rest of my lineup. And if I'm using the Cardinals defense, I'll probably look to stack them up with James Conner and just hope that the Cardinals can keep this game close or somehow pull out a win like they did against Dallas. It's not out of out of possibility, I guess. But that is how I will be attacking this afternoon slate this week. If you guys want to know exactly what I'm playing or you guys need projections, head over to SHIPITNation.com. Try out that 5-day trial, $19. Get you everything we have to offer, except for the Discord, which is a big part of what we offer. So I think you guys will want to try it out, end up paying the full amount afterwards. But go test it out. 5 days. We think you'll want to stick around afterwards. I will be back with a primetime slate breakdown. But if you guys can hit that like and subscribe button for us, it really helps out. Good luck on this afternoon slate, and I hope to see some Ship It logos up top. Thanks for listening. Go ship something. See you next time.